and
CLG won't.
Completely okay with playing against it.
Yeah, and so far this ban phase still seems like according to plan for Team Liquid. They banned the Gangplank and Graves, two of the stronger champions that Darshan could throw up in the top lane, or the things that would just be good against tanks, really. And I wonder if they're going to go with Tristana as that last ban. I don't... Yep, they do. What is up with that? CLG must have had some good Tristan scrims.
Well, CLG, even when they had double lift, remember it was always kill turrets with Tristana,
sure.
walk up, boom, 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 take them. Because they're so good at that rotational game. Imagine how fast these turrets would go down.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that would have also been true throughout the entirety of the regular season.
True.
Tristana has evaporated from competitive play.
It may excel something where HuHi, as he went towards the end of the season, goes back to the Twisted Fate, that pressure of knocking turrets down. They just go global really fast and try to make moves even more. With the Trist down, maybe it shuts it right out of the book.
Yep, it does.
Who knows? A lot of speculation. But it is the Ekko coming in for Darshan. Xmithie's going to take Elise this game. And the Kindred has already been picked up on the side of TL.
Yep, Jungle Pool was a little bit more banned out this game, Nidalee and Gragas, which prompted the first pick. But Team Liquid is making no hesitations with their next two choices.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a triple AD composition coming out here for TL. Of course, they have flexed the Corki before, but triple AD carry, you have to think CLG go for Braum for Aphromoo. And when you see this coming, you really want to pick Braum. We saw it in that series over in Europe, that Braum became a huge priority for Xmithie.
Yeah, I'm really wondering how CLG adapts to this, because Team Liquid will have a lot of wave clear and turret siege, and works pretty well around CLG, since CLG hasn't been a team to pick really good hard initiation, which is typically what you want to do against the double and triple marksman teams. So just from just a straight up draft choice, I'm wondering.
I'm actually...
They go Zed?
Maybe.
HuHi?
I'm actually thinking that TL, they flex the Corki because they actually want Piglet to have a superior lane matchup and actually bully Stixxay, but that's not going to happen here with the heal bot behind him of Soraka.
Huh. So Soraka did have those mild changes, but many people think Soraka is now more powerful. You have to be a little bit more aggressive, but you get higher rewards if you are successful in your aggression.
Yeah, she's more active and very rewarding for it. Oh, seeing that come out here from Aphromoo, you're talking about seeing him on a playmaker? Well, he's going to be able to stop plays, and then if TL goes over aggressive, it becomes a big problem for them.
The Bard of the Janna, what's it going to be?
Yeah, they can flex the Karma. They can do a lot of different stuff here. That bottom lane could go pretty much anywhere.
It's going to be Poppy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So locking back in the Poppy for Lourlo. And FeniX is going to be Corki this time. That was banned out last game.
There's really no reason not to. CLG isn't trying to attack Lourlo's champion pool, although I think it is attackable. It's basically Nautilus was his best champion in the regular season, which is nerfed, so not as good. And at that point, you go to Maokai, Ekko, and Poppy, and
forget that Gnar.
You can hit those things in the ban phase and push him onto something like Gnar. That would actually be great.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's something we see in a future game if this one doesn't go well for CLG.
Gragas is also up there as well.
True. I think it's attackable. You just have to really invest in it.
We did see it attack during the regular season, and it ended up putting TL on the back foot, but because of the meta shift and even Ekko being added to that pool and all of these top laners like Maokai coming back, he just has so many tanks now that it's actually rather lucky that his champion pool and the way that he plays on TL rotates around that, because just looking at this composition, triple AD carry, peel champions for the top laner and the support.
Counter Logic Gaming giving themselves a little bigger of a timer here in this game. It's not just going to end at 30 minutes for them if they're not ahead in this one. But Team Liquid now one up, using that confidence and the momentum to make the way into Game 2 in a very confident kind of mid-game to late, where we thought they would falter against CLG for a Game 1 coming from Team Liquid.
CLG really didn't change much. They switched out their support. They changed their AD carry a little bit, and they couldn't pick their jungler, but the core of their team is the same. Yep. Exact same solo lanes, a defensive support, and a fairly versatile AD carry. Whereas you look at the side of Team Liquid, they also didn't change that much, aside from they have no assassin in the mid lane and instead have a higher damage wave clear champion, which would technically be even better for team fighting, which is where Team Liquid won the last game. So I think if they can play basically the same as they did in Game 1, Team Liquid would have the better draft.
Also looks like CLG getting those teleports back in as well. Let's try to make plays off of those. Once again, the coaches make their way to the backstage, and the players make their way onto the Rift. Update your Twitter votes while the getting's good. Hashtag TL win or hashtag CLG win if you know what's good for you. We'll update them, or we won't. We just see. Coming into Game 2 here, it is going to be Team Liquid up one game. Dardoch back on Kindred for this one, like Jet was saying. Pretty similar comps from both teams, so they should be comfortable coming in to start this one off. But the pressure is on the defending champions of CounterLogic Gaming to get themselves back in this series.
And when I look at the compositions here, TL, they're pretty much flat 5-on-5. You want to fight. You want to have some skirmishes with the Poppy and the Karma if you have those around. But then CLG's comp, it's kind of splitty, kind of low wave clear again. They do have the Lucian. But if you 1-3-1, your core of 3 is Soraka, Lucian, and Elise. Well, with the changes to Soraka, when you're running away from somebody and you have that Q on you, you actually get movement speed when you're running away from enemies.
Yep.
So that is a little bit more of a peel style for the Soraka, which it wasn't before. But I still don't trust that core of 3 to not get engaged on. It's really risky.
Mystical,
Support
magical
combat.
auto attacks.
Aphromoo, much better. He gets to heal when he lands his Q. Super OP in that level 1 fight.
Of course it's going to work.
They both just get gold. They got what they came for. It's a gentleman's agreement. Support, get rich.
That spike of a core item for them is going to be great. Vision everywhere. So it'll be normal starts here. Are we actually going to get matched up lanes? Looks like towards the bottom side, Team Liquid will head. They wanted it last game. See if they get it on this one. Piglet on, however, Kalista this game, and Matt on the Karma.
Yeah, and Matt has Ignite, so if you go into that lane and you focus down Aphromoo, it's going to be actually a very good time for this bottom lane. I think it's actually really good synergy, too. You can get the root, you stack it up, you give her extra movement speed, and movement speed affects Kalista's speed of her jump, not the distance, but the speed of the jump, while she's in combat. So,
Oh, the mantra.
16 gold! Whew. That's like killing a caster minion as a support. That's the best day Matt's having.
Yeah, he's banking right now.
I mean,
We all know Matt. He's always wearing those gold chains.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
All right, so let's see what they got. Starting off, we are going to get a matched up one here. Definitely love this. We're going to see more action from Dardoch and Xmithie already. Dardoch. Let's going to see if he can play a little game of cat and mouse here and find the spider.
The thing is if he sees this red and he thinks that Xmithie is just not going to do it, or how long is he going to wait here until he starts it?
Really early. He starts it. I think he could have waited for Xmithie to walk in, but there's a chance that Xmithie takes so long on the Raptors that he can expect this
Oh,
steal.
boy.
No, it's his. It's going to be a steal.
Well, he doesn't have Smite. They both don't have Smite for pretty much the same amount of
Not
time.
in about a second.
You go!
Oh, he's going to peel it out. He's going to peel it out.
The Smite's up
There
now.
you go.
Oh, now he could technically get aggressive, but yeah, he could have very easily got aggressive. He had mid lane pressure
Oh
as
my
well.
god! And he's got a Scuttle Crab on that side that's marked.
Dardoch.
That just tilts you as the enemy.
You know you can't, especially, yeah, it's Smithie's path goes down for him to waste time here and get nothing out of it. The 50-50 Scuttle not worth, but for Dardoch, very much so. And it looks like he will have a good early game, which means lane stays safe for now. I'll be there quite soon with quite a bit of damage.
And Xmithie just walks the other side, tries to get the answer here. He's going to get this, no problem. Oh, but he's scared. What's FeniX doing?
He thinks he's going to be getting...
Well, FeniX walks
He's
toward...
just being safe and pulling it.
He's just making moves.
It's so much harder to counter jungle when your laner is pushed into their turret, whereas FeniX has the lane pressure right now. He actually abandons the red buff counter jungle.
Dardoch.
He's got to go back, right? He's got the deep wards.
Oh, Dardoch hopped over the top wall. He was not spotted by that ward on the right side. He's going to get a gank on Zion Spartan or Darshan from behind.
Yeah, and depending on the communication, there's a lot of superstition going on here. Xmithie's probably been calling out, where's Dardoch? So Darshan wouldn't expect this. Burns flash right away.
He marked him too, so kind of a dead giveaway at that point.
Hey, the mark could be a fake out.
Yeah, but the Poppy's charging me and I'm getting marked. What's going on?
Yeah.
It's like throwing the lantern behind you, except it was real this time. You're really crying wolf. 4 minutes in. Oh, the mantra Qs keep connecting onto Aphromoo. He may be hitting some boots up real quick as he gets back in from that lane. And that's all you should be doing on Karma. Xmithie's going to try to relieve some pressure here in the bot lane as his Raptor buff sweeps that out. Piglet and Matt, pretty good positioning with the Defiant speed to get themselves out if need be.
Oh.
Dardoch still living in Xmithie's jungle.
He's got another mark. Oh, and that's TP from HuHi in the mid lane as well. So that's 2 marks really early on for this Kindred. That increases your clear time. That makes it so that you're much more powerful when you gank people. A lot of times you run around with 0 stacks for like 10 minutes.
We've seen it for 30 in the LCS before.
That's true, we have. Oh, man. He's gotten more than that in 4 minutes.
Yeah. Lucker dog. A little bit of skill involved too. He's got high map pressure.
Oh man, skill on that scuttle crab.
You gotta know to go for it, man. It's 50-50.
Yeah, don't clear
Which
it.
side?
So just in case.
So Liquid aggressive still in the bot lane here, knowing Xmithie's not going to be able to do much. They're not going to give up this pressure. Keep trying to add it and harass Stixxay under the turret.
Yeah, he's 8 CS down already. That's a full minion wave and a little bit more. So that's just been constant pressure here. And this Karma for Matt just seems to be like the Janna for him, but less full disengage. It's more protection and a little bit of engage. But it's the harassment, it's the lane dominance that he goes for right now. It's a poke.
When we mentioned it last game, I think it really benefits Piglet to have that initial movement speed, a champion that can instantly speed him up. They have a Lucian to protect him and whatnot. Now it's the Karma, and it works just as good.
This could be real interesting and very swingy. There's a challenging smite completed by Dardoch.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a smite up though, so wouldn't matter if they do fight.
But he's on this side.
He's here first.
But he's going to get roofed.
Yeah, teleport into counter.
Oh, Matt's choice was awesome. Defianced himself and put himself in front of the cocoon. The team chases now with Lourlo's teleport. A few more hits. The Rend is early for the slow, and they couldn't add the next few. Here's the TP coming in from Darshan. He gets the tether from Matt, but does not get locked down. And Piglet gets hit up first. The counter comes from CLG. It's the counter logic of the gaming, and it's the one that works. Matt's going to be the next one to be finalized. And Aphromoo even picks up a little on that one.
And Team Liquid committed so hard to that dive with no way of matching what could be a double teleport to come back down at them.
Well, HuHi actually got to walk there.
Yeah, huge overcommit.
At all.
Yeah, I don't even think so. HuHi didn't have his teleport, but it's still the top lane teleport that can get you.
Yeah.
At the very start, they know Xmithie's repelled down, so they think they can get him. But remember, they're fighting against a Soraka lane. Summoner heal as well as Soraka heals just pump him up so high. They take 2 total turret shots, one on Lourlo, one on Dardoch, and then Darshan comes in and HuHi walks in. At this time, Team Liquid just has to bail, but they completely overcommitted onto that early game.
Yeah, Piglet flashed, and he flashed after all of his spears had worn off. So he didn't actually have multiple Rend stacks inside of Xmithie at that point. If he had flashed a little bit earlier and answered Xmithie's flash immediately, he would have been able to continue stacking and then possibly killed him underneath that turret.
Whew.
So there's a little bit of indecision there. It was like, am I flashing now? And then did it a little too late. But everybody was really committed to that call. The 2,000 gold lead for CLG really early in this game. And we know how they play with advantages. They like to run you around the map, and it still looks like TL wants to be aggressive bot.
I think they swapped this as well. Stixxay's going top lane. They're going to try and catch these waves pounding into the turret now, but not going up against that bot. Stixxay wants free farm. They get 3 assists out of that as well, so you figure they're going to have items up. They just may not want to do it. Keep it safe here.
This is, I don't think at any point during the first game did CLG have a 2,000 gold lead. And they have it already this early on. Not to mention, double TP is so good for running away with game.
Yeah. We waited, what, 14, 15 minutes until we saw that double TP play coming out at all. And that one didn't even work in their favor. So here really kind of putting themselves in the driver's seat and giving themselves the gold lead, not waiting for it to come out. Packages are up. We're going to see FeniX go back and start grabbing those. So possibly something from TL's side soon.
I think the biggest thing about that is the fact that HuHi was actually able to roam down and impact a lane that wasn't mid, because he is pretty much trapped in that lane with FeniX. It's remarkable he was able to find the window to walk down there, and FeniX didn't take his turret or punish him out of it. Like, that's the biggest surprise about that entire fight.
I think FeniX backed at that time to go ahead and purchase, and HuHi was left cleaning the wave, which normally when you're playing mid lane, you're like, all right, I cleared my wave really early, now I get to back, and they have to deal with clearing it, and HuHi just abandoned a little bit of it, ran down to help the team. And that's the HuHi that we always knew was the guy that wanted to roam to the side lanes and affect those lanes, not play through mid. We didn't see much of that last game, and this game he was just able to just walk it out. He didn't even have to TP.
Definitely working better for him. We were wondering when it would come in. CLG now matched on the top side by TL. What would be maybe some Rift Herald presence is kind of fizzled out there, and it's going to be a full-on fight if somebody wants it. The warding has been pushed into that blue side for CLG, so they definitely know where Dardoch is going to be. And we see Xmithie. He's looking for top a little bit here, or looking to find Dardoch.
Just to get back to lane once again.
Strong push to maybe move out once more.
Yeah, but FeniX is just going to rush straight back. I think he has the package right now.
The thing here is FeniX has the package, so for the short time, Team Liquid will have the mobility advantage if they wanted to counter a play that COD's going for.
Oh, they're going top.
Yeah, HuHi's on the roam. They technically know that Corki's on the way up here, and they know that he has package, so I don't think CLG is going to be diving this one at all. They were gonna, but that's what the deep wards told them about.
They had those set up for quite a while as well. I think FeniX read that early, and he tried to get back to lane to start pushing it. Uh-oh. Never good to be the caboose. The straggler always takes the most.
There's a Soraka, though.
Good cocoon there is forced to flash, but Lourlo comes in with a TP, looking to finalize the kill for the team. Is the communication there? The follow-up from the package from downtown. FeniX from across the screen. He's the one taking the turret, and Aphromoo runs for the hills as they take down 2 members of CLG.
And Liquid strike back in one fell swoop there. Lourlo TPs, didn't even see that coming from the backside, and then immediately solos out Xmithie, and then Aphromoo on the side has to flash over. I love the ultimate too, because it put it on reflex there. Can Aphromoo heal this guy faster than we can do that last 100 HP?
You're tired of Soraka heals, hit the guy with Poppy ultimate, no one can target him then.
Then it's quick draw at that point.
No, that was a big mistake by Xmithie. They knew they didn't want that gank in the first place, and he overstayed his welcome by a mile.
Well, he saw Dardoch with that ward too in the tri-brush, and he just sat there.
Yeah, the whole start of this fight just shouldn't
okay.
happen because he was thinking, maybe he comes up because Corki's not going to be able to die, but they're still going to be outnumbered, and they still know that there's a teleport onto the Poppy. So he takes a whole bunch of damage. The teleport from the Poppy comes in. Lourlo stuffs the dash by Stixxay, which eventually leads to the later kill, and they can't quite keep him alive. The fact that he caught Stixxay on the tail end of that Poppy ultimate really did him in, and they could not get quite enough damage down onto Matt before they can secure the double kill. But all of that started because Xmithie was in the wrong spot.
Yeah, that repel was also really strange because he was repelling to make sure that his team could get to him.
And then he got close.
Right. Exactly. Everybody else closed in on him, and he had to abort it, but it still wasted time. It wasted valuable seconds.
You got to think of how long before that we talked about CLG pushing the wards up. They were prepping that. They'd move bottom to top to try and gain control. All fizzled out in one quick play as it did not work, and TL actually grabs the advantage there. CLG's gold lead is shut down a little bit, but they still are ahead, and they're going to be able to move quite easily off of this turret. Bottom's waiting to be dropped by TL, but that's because they also get Dragon Pressure out of this.
So, KiwiKit on the desk said, it doesn't matter how much vision you have if you can't fight them. Well, Xmithie went straight forward, cooldown boots and Sightstone. Doesn't have any part of his jungle item at all except for the challenging smite.
Yeah.
And Dardoch already has Devour. He's already working on another attack speed item at this point.
So you still can't fight him, but now you also can't see him very well. No, they have the Sightstone this time, so it is still a viable build. I'm typically not a fan of challenging plus Sightstone because it's kind of like you started to commit to the duelist.
You want some damage, but then you don't.
Then you realize you're actually going to lose the duel anyway, so you're trying to just bail yourself out by building a Sightstone. I also think Xmithie is the tracker's knife type. That's what COD uses for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe he just got a little bit too bodied in that first game by the challenging smite and wanted to go at himself, but I actually feel like this is worse.
Speaking of bodied.
Cash curse, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys.
Didn't even get to use respite at that point.
Yeah, chain stun. He had help. He had the assistance.
I didn't even get to use my eyes, it was so fast.
Yeah.
Because of the wards.
Oof. Well, CLG has not stopped putting wards down in this area. Dardoch falls prey to the security system that CLG has installed in their jungle.
Well, this mid turret already below half. Down bottom, though, Darshan has had some time with that turret.
He's still got the Hex Drinker. Waiting for that to get popped out, but still, CLG is not letting up on the pressure here. This is kind of what Team Liquid did when they started to grab a gold lead. They made sure to strangle it out, and Counter Logic Gaming is staying right up in the face every wave to the turret here until they get something else. And it paid off on this. If you're pushed up all the time,
they had
encroach in the jungle.
A lot of wards to set that one up. And that's the main reason they got the kill. Meanwhile, Dardoch did not have the vision control of them coming up.
I guess the Sightstone did matter for sure.
That's the Sightstone kill right there. It is.
It doesn't matter.
This is what we get.
It doesn't matter if he can see you, if he can't fight you, but if everybody can fight you.
So CLG now on the objectives. Dragon already taken by Team Liquid, so they were going that route last game. Most likely try and stick on that timer once again. Xmithie just trying to solo this, so he's like, hey guys, anybody?
It's rare that we have that much silence at the Rift Herald that you actually get to hear the sound effect for hitting me high. That is a gross sound. Like, I just do not like it.
There you go. All right. There we go.
Had to mention it, I'm sorry.
Right in my eyes,
That's what it would seem like if you get hit in a giant eye. Ooh.
Oh, Dardoch looking for the stack. Actually, I was looking at Darshan's build. He went for the Dark Seal plus the Corrupting Potion. So just looking for efficiency there. It makes it incredibly efficient. It almost doubles the gold efficiency of Corrupting Potion.
5 stacks already for Dardoch. He definitely stays focused on it. He finds the windows to get in when the team doesn't need him. The lanes are pushed. They're able to pretty much get a breather here. CLG was just all up in their grill for the last 5 minutes. It seemed to slow down a little bit, though.
Yeah, still a very competitive game, and we'll still see both of these teams scaling up. I'm really interested to see the difference of having a Soraka in the team fight phase if we get there.
Xmithie's having way more pressure in this game.
Yeah. The red buff tag on there that they wanted to try and do. But yeah, that's a really good point. Xmithie is definitely, even with the start, kind of getting routed by Dardoch. Didn't get as much as he needed. Dardoch was in his face. He's doing a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I think his build path is just better this game. Last game, he spent a lot of time going double Thorns. This game, he's just gone for pretty much straight into the Iceborne Gauntlet, which is what he needs if he wants to have an extended duel against the Poppy. And I do feel like the Dark Seal is still a good aggressive item for the Ekko, especially if he starts getting a few kills. I've seen Ekko's get incredibly high AP numbers with that, as well as being tanky.
Yeah, and just a little bit of a duel here. There's Xmithie.
Yeah.
They knew Lourlo just flashed on the last play, so Xmithie flashes in for this one. Says, we'll get it this time.
Piglet's trying to answer, but I don't know if he's going to get there in time. So yeah, just going to have to clear out the Krugs.
Can't answer that one, and that's really the culmination of what we've just been talking about. Darshan, you give him an inch and he can take a mile. He had 20 CS, he was first to Iceborne Gauntlet, and they're able to punish with a nice follow gank from Xmithie.
Yeah, and you were talking about the Dark Seal, and Ekko, oh wait,
hey, FeniX!
He has to walk through it!
He's going to have a 2v1 for a second. Dardoch's not really there to help him out with too much mana, and they may have bitten off way more than they can chew. They thought it was going to be an in-and-out job, and it is definitely a let's get the hell out of here. Made a mistake. They have lost FeniX already, and CLG almost looks like they want more. Darshan's going for the pressure so the team can get the turret.
We spent all the first game praising Team Liquid for their patience and how they were never overcommitting for something on CLG. And then, almost as if seeming to make up for something, FeniX just goes in wildly.
FeniX with
the teleport.
His trademark, I make play. And no, not so much this time. CLG was on top of that play and almost on top of 2 turrets now. A second tier push here in the mid lane. And it looks like they are thwarted for now. 44 seconds onto Dragon, not wanting to blow too much more in the way of spells. They're going to back up. Yeah, be prepared.
It's a 2.6k gold lead. It's only 1 turret down, 4 kills from that Dragon for TL. But honestly, this Soraka is helping out a lot in the side when they're actually getting catches too, because he's getting the slows for the follow-up. He's getting the silence, which takes you off guard. Silences are some of the most jarring CC in our game because you just lose control of your abilities.
Right.
And he's using the skin that also puts it makes it a little darker, a little greener. So it's harder to see it. It's not that gigantic blue thing underneath people.
It's one of those things you don't play against a lot, and the half second or second it takes you to rethink the situation.
That's too late at that point.
Way too late. Not enough time to be doing that in a fight.
You can also use it pretty well to stuff a Kalista ult coming in, because if it gets thrown on top of it, you can't cast any spells to follow it. A little hypey, but they got back up. Piglet, oh dear.
I'm gonna go the other way. You go that way. Oh no!
And we're both dead.
They both split up. They both get taken down. Kills going to Xmithie and Darshan as CLG now starts to own the map. Something they really looked to do in game 1. Just couldn't achieve it.
We've been seeing CLG zerg them down this game. We see 5 people in the bottom very early on. 4 people come back down to go on 2. And CLG, they're not doing that split. They're just collapsing over and over again.
Yeah, a lot of times when teams lose one game in a series, you have to decide whether or not it was because you played poorly or it's because your strategy was wrong. For CLG, I feel like they had faith in their strategy and they're just executing differently this game. The core of the team composition is the same, with Darshan on Ekko and HuHi on Ryze, but this time, instead of just always swapping back and forth, they're swapping and then doing an and one. They're sending more people down to the swap to punish people as they try and extend for farm, and it's resulting in a very solid game 2 from CLG.
And along with this composition we saw last game, everybody getting away, disengaging in fights. They have that Elise cocoon now. They have a little bit more lockup, and they're able to secure the kills, not watch them walk away with 100 HP. Much more bloody game on both sides, 8-2. Liquid actually falling one more time this game. Only tied once last.
It is actually a really good point. Because of the Elise, it actually makes it a little bit more fluid.
Xmithie's had much more of an impact.
In getting those picks and having the team assist you. So the Cocoon versus what Nidalee would have brought to the table, I don't know. Because Nidalee's incredibly powerful, but it's so strange that you would say Nidalee probably wasn't as good of a pick.
Yeah, well, this time when Dardoch is just out farming and trying to take the Rift Herald, well, Xmithie was setting up kills or setting up Dardoch on its way to the Rift Herald, which then has given CLG theirs. Because he's still fairly heavily getting out farmed. He had to go with the more defensive path of going the Sightstone, but it is paying off because he's been able to combo with his solo laners. Always the delicate balance a jungler has to have.
It's one of those things you have to tell yourself, I'm helping carry. I'm helping carry. It's not I'm being carried. I'm helping my carries carry.
You guys keep telling yourself that.
Don't you play support?
Hey, he has to carry. Calm down.
I have a big heart. I'm a nice guy. All right, back into what's happening on the Rift here as Liquid making a very, very good story for themselves to come back in this series.
Yeah, but CLG, defending champions, they want to get back there to those finals.
That's what did I say Liquid? I meant to say CLG.
Oh.
Thank you. Trying to make like a quiet point. Like, this is going to be big. Then I mess it up.
CLG also the #2 seed, so based on playoff seeding, they would be the favorites coming into this matchup. It's just Team Liquid looked so good in the quarterfinals and took game 1 of the series that it's still up in question. But if CLG is able to continue this one, we're going to be in for quite a good series if they get tied up 1-1.
Ready for that. We had a great game going on over in EU, all the way to the scrapes. Let's get it back over here in NA. So again, Matt upgrading to Eye of the Watcher.
Teleport from Darshan and from HuHi. Big fight.
Lourlo
teleport up as well. That's going to be in the mid lane. Dardoch. Dardoch goes bye-bye.
Oh, this is huge for
no
CLG.
Ultimate from Kindred on this. Piglet's going to get hit. Matt can't help him with enough Defiance Shield, and it looks like they are once again scattered. CLG has not found Liquid, and this is a good thing, in a grouped fight. They're always getting 1 or 2. They're picking them off and then doing what they want.
Yeah, just a massive engagement there from CLG. They execute the double teleport, and it was so crucial that they could chain the CC onto Dardoch to stop him from being able to use his ultimate. And that just made everyone else on Team Liquid done for. They did not have tank lines set up. CLG could teleport him behind them, and now they are forcing this Baron with confidence.
Full Baron. All members are up for this. They're going to use it accordingly. The CLG loves to be that team to split push. They have more than enough reason to now. Let's see that one more time. TP's all over.
And that was Flash Cocoon from Xmithie onto the silence from Soraka, so he couldn't even use Lamb's Respite, and then they just focused Piglet on the right side because Lourlo TP'd onto the left, so they sectioned him off. So Matt was supposed to be protecting Piglet, but the Karma doesn't have that intense peel that a Janna does. You can't really get that many people away at once.
You kind of have that one quick spell, and if that didn't break you loose, well, fend for yourself.
You're like, run, run!
I have no more for you. So where do they decide to go from here? Counterlogic Gaming now completely in the driver's seat. Is that a Mage Eyes?
Yes, it is.
Is that what you were? I was like, what? I heard it. Where is it?
It's the upgrade path for the Dark Seal.
It is the Dark
This is
Seal.
what you do if you're crushing Ekko.
Everybody I talk to about Dark Seal is usually just like, yeah, you just sit on it. If it gets stacks, it gets stacks. It's fine. Upgrading it to Mage Eyes is not very cost efficient, but Darshan went for it.
It was either Smeb or Someday in the LCK who did exactly the same thing. He was crushing the game, he went Mage Eyes, then he died and sold it like it always happens, but he still did it.
I mean, he's Ekko, so if he plays it right, he's got 2 lives. Yeah. Oh, looking for Xmithie.
He's got to get over to Matt. There we go.
Down.
Oh, that package!
FeniX a little too far forward, right in the Lamb's Respite. This is going to be a tough one. Everybody's going to pop as that goes down, and it's going to be Xmithie first. Piglet, no, yes. He gets the mat. That's rather Stixxay, and they're going to push this fight out now. Lourlo taking a bit of damage on the outside, flashing forward for the Poppy, and he gets just that popped out of the fight. And now CLG once again standing in front of a turret they can take down. And HuHi feels he can add even more pressure to this, so Team Liquid's going to be forced to back and possibly even now give up an inhibitor turret with the Baroned up team. CLG going hard. Stixxay under the turret goes down, but in a valiant effort, his team looks to clean up this fight, and there's the kill, the phase dive from Darshan as they head back for the inhibitors.
18 stacks, boys. He's going big. That's a huge fight, though, for CLG. Once again, the package was amazing from FeniX, but CLG just had such a big goal lead, and I actually did not like Dardoch's ultimate in that fight. I felt like it actually kept CLG alive more than it did Team Liquid, and this is almost the inhibitor for CLG on.
Oh, Aphro! Oh!
Oh, that's the shield. Making him clench, goes down, Aphromoo falls to the floor, and it is going to be Liquid trying to repair the base now. They're going to have to stop the bleeding. Counterlogic Gaming so strong in these fights.
There were a couple moments in that fight where it's that old school, I'm helping, where Dardoch puts down his ultimate, but also Matt gave Xmithie a repel out. Walks to the left, perfect repel space, and oh man, that's the Elise dream right there, where they have to recollapse on you right here. Throws him in, and then he walks to the left instead of up, when you know FeniX is going to try to get there first, and Xmithie gets saved by, oh man, it gets saved by Dardoch for so long too.
And HuHi was able to sit in that ultimate with a lot of safety as well, while just DPSing Team Liquid, who is very healthy. I know that Dardoch has been getting pressured very heavily this game. The burst potential from CLG is very high, but they really could have used this ultimate later, and it hurt them in the moment.
Yeah, because the last few times he'd been silenced, and he would have wanted to use it or cocoon.
Exactly. So he wanted to get it out early because he's been so heavily CC'd. There's a lot of things that stop him from being able to cast it.
You don't want to be that guy where you haven't used your Kindred ulti in 3 fights. So.
It always seems so dangerous as well when you're the team that's behind. When you throw that down, it always seems like the stronger team has time to kind of sit, think about what they want to do next, right? They're already going to win the fight. They made you pop your ult. They just have a chance to see how they're going to do it, so it makes it that much more dangerous.
A lot of the time,
when they're up.
Depending on the opportunity, if a lot of your members are low and they're at about medium HP, popping it is so good because then you get them into your danger zone where you're able to destroy them afterwards. So then it becomes that quick draw thing where can you rend right at the moment? What happens? Who gets what spell out? But that one was just flat out saving Xmithie for a long time, where he probably should have died off of the rappel coming down, but Matt gave him a good spot. So
where do they go from here? Around the horn it is. It's going to be Darshan to the top. The rest of the team to the bottom here as they take out the last few outer turrets. Still looking for this inhibitor in the mid lane. It looks like it's going to be the next thing that they go for. Back here from HuHi. He's got himself a Guardian Angel, kind of sticking with what last game was.
And I wanted to look at the
ability power.
The ability power, because what I was going to say before when he had the Dark Seal and why it's such a good buy
for
on
Darshan.
Ekko, yeah, on Ekko, is Ekko has actually already been tuned more towards being AP as opposed to tank. It happened when the tank jungle Ekko thing was happening and people were buying Cinderhulk on it, so it was tuned towards that. So the AP ratio is actually really high. I think it's like 130% on your shield. So it's supposed to encourage you to go AP so that when you throw out your W, you're tanky even though you're an assassin. But now, he's a tanky assassin top laner, and he doesn't even need his W. But it's just the damage that he's able to get from that. It's tuned towards AP ratios, and because he has so many stacks, it's so devastating.
It's one of the reasons this hybrid build is so ridiculously effective, is because he is now getting the AP ratio for the shield and his self-heal from his ultimate, and then also getting the double benefit from having the armor and magic resist to make those heals and shields more effective. So it's kind of multiplicative on itself right there. And Darshan is an absolute monster, which is what Azael was saying on the analyst desk he would have to be for them to win this series. And this has been an example of Darshan kind of putting his team a little bit on his back. The split push pressure, the rest of the team hopping on, helping him out. And it is definitely a team effort, but Darshan, the beneficiary, 507, 18 Soul Stealer stacks.
Got to make it happen. Everybody else as well, adding in efficient damage and fighting correctly behind them to make everything work together right now. Sitting on a 10,000 gold lead, CLG's biggest so far.
There they go!
Series, it looks like it could be the ending gold lead. A Fate's Call forced to come out pretty much because Piglet went down so fast. And now they're going to be on to the rest of the team and turrets. It's just which one they decide first. Taking a bit of damage. Locket goes out so they can mitigate it, and now they're going to be in.
Whoa.
A good hit coming out of Lourlo could really defy this take of the base. Darshan's very low. HuHi will fall on the backside to Dardoch in the end of this one. And it's going to be the Guardian Angel that comes up, which gives the rest of CLG some time to move forward. and start to get that damage down. The inhibitors are now something they
Gonna
can
kill him!
Grab.
Oh, wait!
Soraka!
Where's the focus?
Is it
They
even
got
there?
it.
No, summoner
There
here.
it is. Kill coming in. What a mess inside the base. CLG figures we actually need to just get the objectives here.
Oh
it is
my
about
God.
40 seconds on the clocks for the death timers. So they do have a bit of R&R to deal with, but Matt's not going to let them wait too long.
Apologies, tilted by the Soraka. Just expected the heals to come in early. It was actually a summoner heal that kept him alive, but what a chaos. What a chaotic team fight. Very much chaos. Go for it, Cyrene.
Much chaos. Such fight. Yeah, I was actually very surprised that Xmithie was the one that Lourlo started to dive at the start. He just tries to barrel through the fight and go straight after him. It's a little strange. And then FeniX gets saved again. Good ultimate from Lourlo. That's the type of fight that they need.
Yeah.
And Aphromoo dies there.
Good ultimate from Lourlo, good ultimate from Dardoch, and I think CLG was willing to get a super aggressive because they knew they killed Piglet at the very beginning of the fight, but there's still technically 2 marksmen on Team Liquid, which makes it fairly dangerous to go in, and Stixxay absolutely takes too much damage from the turret there before getting stunned in. And CLG, they have a very strong pole position to win this game with 2 inhibitors being down, but there's still some risks if a great Poppy ultimate comes through in a team.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the items here. We have Ardent Sensor for Aphromoo to increase his his AD carry, and also just even Darshan and everybody on his team. And then we also have Zeke's Herald for Xmithie.
This is a fully stacked Magi Soul Stealer, by the way. All 25 glories.
I went old school. It's Harbinger. Not bad.
Yeah, so it's
I wasn't going to come back.
Yeah, thank you, Rip.
a bonus 125 ability power just from that item. So you can say that Darshan,
So crazy.
he is already 3,500 gold ahead of Lourlo. That's not counting the insane efficiency of a max stack Magi.
Oh, and he gets that 10% movement speed as well from it.
And his passive, he's already fast.
Yeah.
Already super fast. Really synergizing and build together. You don't get a chance to do this very often, so when you do, put it right in that inventory. 609, and like you said, Jet, definitely living up to what Azale was saying on the desk. If they're going to get through a next game, there's got to be some star power from this guy.
Yeah, and he's going to set up a split push right here, which is going to be, I think, mostly unanswerable for Team Liquid. Team Liquid's going to try and rush to 4v5. Darshan's teleporting in from the backside.
Oh, but Dardoch got rooted so far forward.
Lamb's respite is down. Xmithie is right in the front, and they're going to pop Dardoch immediately. There goes Matt. Next falls FeniX, and it just collapsing like dominoes. Piglet's going to be the next one. Lourlo tries to hammer one home, but he misses through. And they're going to hit the nail in the coffin. CLG takes down the final member of Liquid, and they're going to finalize this game.
And without missing a beat, CLG back on their feet. They're going to even up the series 1-1, but it's going to take them a bit to close it out. They need these minion waves. And
yeah, you could see the setup on that play was Team Liquid had very few options, so they went all in. You can't fault them for the end of this game, but CLG with a much stronger performance here in Game 2 to even the series and make it basically a best of 3.
Absolutely a much better game coming in from Counter Logic Gaming. Much more definitive in the win, and they take Game 2 over Team Liquid.